talk about these things and not feel any shame or embarrassment. I called my sister on Friday and said, I'm walking down the road, my period, I'm flooding through. It's a nightmare. I'm not feeling well. It's making me feel quite anxious. So, I had all these conversations, and just in having that with someone who can relate with me, because I know that she's gone through that herself, then we have this kind of connection where I feel like, it's not just me. And then it's that kind of that feeling of oneness, and I'm not going crazy. This is happening to someone else. So I think connection with a trusted person who will relate to your story is really important. And you can find that through Facebook groups, or it doesn't have to be a family member, because it can be someone else, a stranger. You can find people online that are going through this too. So if you don't have a community near you in person, you can find someone online to talk to about it. But I think that's really important as well, to stay connected and talk about those things.
So you have quite a rich practice of honoring your body and staying connected with your body in using lots of different obviously I loved hearing about the food side of meditation. Are there any specific, say, Reiki meditation practices that you would share with someone who is going through something similar?
The most beautiful practice that I have is just a Reiki treatment where I place one hand on my womb, so my right hand on my womb, my left hand on my heart, and I breathe into those spaces. So I lay down, find somewhere comfortable, and I usually do this before I go to bed and in the morning when I wake up, but I share Reiki in those spaces and I breathe into my womb. So I just allow my breath to go in there and expands the breath into that space. You can visualize light, like bright white light coming into that area. So just receiving renewed energy into the womb, and then when you breathe out, you're letting go of any tension, any pain that you're holding on to. So you're breathing into the womb and then taking the breath into the heart space and just really opening and expanding these areas. And I find it really comforting. I find it really beautiful to connect in that way. And I kind of see both spaces. I visualize roses in those spaces, so kind of like just an opening of beautiful red roses, which really helps me to feel like I'm loved. And I think that's really important for me in particular, because sometimes, we take on so much of the external world. And so this just gives you this time, even if it's 5 minutes in the day, just to reconnect back and realize that your womb is creating so much beauty for you. And sometimes we get attached to, this heavy period every month, and that can really bring us down, like it did on Friday. So when I reconnect through meditation, I kind of bring an offering back to my womb to say thank you in a way for my bleed, for maybe being able to have birth a child in the future, or for me to creativity to connect to my creativity. So it's kind of those kind of practices that I really embrace, and that's one particular one that I will do on a daily basis.
I think that's so beautiful, and it really shifts the narrative from, certainly I see this with other women that I work with who have endometriosis. It's the shifts it from this feeling of fighting with your body to honoring, and that whole ritual of like visualizing roses. I just love that. Yeah,
because you can go even further and like use your senses. You can smell them and journey with the roses, which is really beautiful. And that's like you can extend into a meditation, and that's just so beautiful. And you can just visualize them growing and growing. And and rose tea, which I drink regularly, is really beautiful. So you can also honor your womb in that way of just making a little bit of time, a mindful moment of boiling the kettle, putting some rose petals in a cup, pouring hot water in, waiting for that to cool down, taking some deep breaths and drinking that tea slowly, and just visualize that rose tea moving through into your womb space. Rose is really great for digestion and for your health of your skin and stuff like that. So it's got great qualities to it anyway, but that's a really nice mindful moment of kind of having a tea ceremony for your womb. which is really beautiful.
Yeah, but wow, so lovely. Can you talk a little bit more about your work as a Reiki master, your business, Emerald and Tiger, and maybe talk a little bit about your amazing book that has come out?
So Self Reiki came out in December in the UK and January US, Canada, and it's a book that focuses more on one specific area of Reiki, which is hands-on healing and the power of touch. And hands-on healing has been around for a very long time, way before Reiki has, the system of Reiki has. But what it is in the book is just gives you these tools, these 40 exercises and meditations around health and well-being to help you to tap into your natural ability to heal yourself. So in Reiki, we do give attunements to awaken you, to bring this awareness of this life force energy moving within you. But we know that we are all born with this energy. We are all created by this energy. And so really the book kind of gives you a little bit of this background information of what Reiki is, history and insight. And then there's so many different exercises that you can follow. The well-being ones will be like, for example, today's a full moon. So there's a full moon meditation in there. So you can really exercise the process of writing down all the things that you want to let go of under a full moon and feel empowered to let go of those. And so that's a really nice exercise to do. Or there's ones around if you have chronic back issues, you can follow a Reiki treatment to help to relieve that pain and see why that pain's coming up for you. Because often when we talk about working with Reiki, we find that the root of the problem isn't the physical back pain, that there might be an emotional attachment to why that back pain is coming up. So there's lots of exercises in there that would be for everyone generally on a daily basis. And so it's really about creating this daily treatment for yourself every day, a little bit of self-care to really honor yourself and be more in tune with yourself personally. Because although I feel that we're all connected and we are in so many special ways, we all individually go through things personally. And so it's really about tapping into that and finding why that is. Who am I? What's going on with me today, and having that check-in. And my business, Emerald and Tiger, I offer one-to-one guidance, corporate group workshops, events, retreats and products such as my book. And Emerald and Tiger fuses the synergies of modern life and conscious living and ancient practices, so practices such as Reiki and sound healing, to help people to tap into their natural ability to heal. So really I am the facilitator to help to bring people come back to their true self. And I offer a session called, for example, a session called Breathe Love, which is about people breathing love back into their body. So it starts with a breathing exercise for 20 minutes, guided meditation, and then lots of sound healing. And all of these tools help to bring us back to the energy that's within us, that life force energy. So all of my work is kind of always comes full circle back to the essence of who we are, what we are made up of.
What would, if someone wanted to get in touch with you, if someone's listening to this podcast and really connecting what you're saying about circling back to the energy, heal yourself, and the meditation you've talked about, how would they connect?
So I have a website, emeraldandtiger.com. They can reach me at hello@emeraldandtiger.com. Send me an email if they're curious or have any questions. And I'm also on Instagram, Emerald and Tiger.
Brilliant. So one last question. If listeners, if they take one thing away from all the things that about, what would you want that to be?
I would definitely start with keeping a journal of their period and creating their own period story. So really finding out on a daily basis what their mood's like, tracking their period and understanding their particular cycle, because everyone's is different. So that's really the key thing. But also, if I can add to that, is to share their period story, to have those conversations, because that really empowers other people, the youth, the next generation that are coming. We hope that they'll be talking about it more and more and more, so that this doesn't become, it doesn't stay a taboo subject anymore, that we can really honour our full femininity and the amazingness of our womb that we don't often do.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
For more inspiring conversations, head over to periodstorypod.com, where we have so many more for you to peruse. If you want help with your menstrual or hormone health, email me on hello@eatlovemove.com to set up a free 30-minute hormone health review. If you like today's show, please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts. Tag us, come say hi, and send in your requests for who you'd like to see on the show on Instagram and Twitter on @periodstorypod, or email us at hello@periodstorypod.com. I'm Lenise Brothers, and you've been listening to Period Story. Thank you so much for listening.